Oh, this thing is heavy. Yeah, onto the bench you go. Welcome back to 556 Media. On the bench, we have yet another pack, except this one is different than the first one. The first video I did was my hiking / everyday carry, or EDC, hiking pack / survival bag, which basically a 24 to maybe 72 hour bag. This one is meant for long term. A lot of people on the internet call these things the Bugout Bag, the Go Bag, the survival bag. In my case, it's survival bag. Let's get into it. So as you're looking at this thing, you heard it, I think, plop down on the shop bench. This thing is pretty big and it's very heavy. However, what it holds is a lot of essential gear and equipment that you would need on a long-term survival situation or scenario. And in my case, that's what it's set up to do. Now, you're going to ask, well, what's in it? Well, I'm going to show you. But I also want you to know that a lot of this gear, just like anything else, you need to be trained on. You need to know how it functions, how it works, all that good stuff, so you're not just carrying around dead weight. Because if you don't know your gear, you're carrying dead weight. You're wasting space, you're wasting time, you're wasting energy. So do your own research, get your own training. I've actually been through survival training with this exact bag. The only thing that's missing in this video, and I'll throw up a picture in this video, is additional water and a sleeping bag that attaches underneath, but we'll get into that. So let's get rolling. So let me address the elephant in the room, because I know there's going to be questions in the comments. Where the hell did I get my training and experience in survival? And why do I have the certain gear that I have? Well, it started way back when I was a teenager. I went through military school for 4 years, mandatory United States Army, JROTC training. It was a military school. It wasn't like you weren't going to public high school and like had the option of going into a military training program. That's all it was a military school. And they taught you directly out of FMs, which military people know, the field manuals, survival, marksmanship, drill and ceremony, things like that. But again, part of it was survival, navigation, things like that. So that's where it all started. Followed through with it into my further adult life, had my own other training through my professional career. But on the side, I did my own survival training. My best times doing that were not just locally here, where I live in the rural mountains of Western Maryland, but I did it up in northern Michigan in the UP, which is the Upper Peninsula, on the Great Lakes, south of Canada, the Porcupine Mountains, Occeoc Falls, if anybody knows those areas. I did it there, and this is the actual pack I used up there in UP. And I still do training from time to time here locally in the Western Maryland mountains, but you have to practice, you have to know your equipment, your tools, and things like that. All right, let's start right at the back of the pack. So right away, you can see I have a United States flag. This is actually a military issued. It's an IR, meaning infrared. It can be seen daytime or nighttime. And I have that for a reason, because the world the way it is, you never know when you need to be identified as American on your own soil. So that's why I have that. Also, right off the bat, you will see there's one canteen. You'll see another photo where I was carrying 3 canteens because water's a necessity. However, where I live and still continue my training, we have natural springs, so it makes it a lot easier. But I do carry filtration products for water in creeks, ponds, things like that. And the next thing you'll see is a K-bar knife. And you need to have some type of quality cutting tool. In this case, this is a K-bar. It has this synthetic grips, and sheath, and it has been very, very durable for many years, and I rely and have relied heavily upon it, and it functions very well. Over here, this is the compass pouch, and again, this goes back to the training experience. I won't pop it out all the way, but this is a military compass, kept on a pouch on the exterior because it's convenient to be able to grab it or have somebody else that you're with grab it off your pack if you can't reach it because you can't put down your pack or things will reach around and grab it out, but very convenient. We'll move over here to the other side, and you'll see right here, this is a comm pouch or a communications pouch, a radio pouch. So what would go in here is a small portable radio. And I've gone through different types in the past, but I would put my radio, my two-way radio in this pouch, and it's readily accessible. I can reach over my shoulder or reach around me and use the radio. Down here, we have some glow sticks. Now these are recent ones. These are some newer ones. So you have to maintain your bags, by the way. So these are newer ones. Cycle things in and out. Some glow sticks. They're good for light and navigation purposes. And you also see I have a flashlight here. I carry multiple means of lighting. So you have glow sticks. You have a flashlight. So yeah, multiple. You have to be redundant with these types of bags. Just a really quick look at the front of the bag. You can see there's built-in MOLLE attachments and D-ring attachments. This is paracord. It's a paracord bracelet. I know a lot of people aren't fans of them anymore, but they used to be really popular. But it's also an easy way to have a short supply or short amount of paracord. What you can't see on this bag right now because it's tucked under, there's a belt system. So you have the padded shoulder straps, a drag strap, and then you have a belt strap that goes around. Well, the belt strap is where I would carry my pistol holster, my pistol, and my magazine pouches with 2 spare magazines fully loaded. And the reason why I keep them on the pack belt is because they're easy to take on and off of the pack belt, and just if I drop my pack, I can take them off the pack and put them onto my pants or shorts directly. So that's how I carry them on the pack, and you'll see that in a photo. One other thing that's good on this pack is I have in it, and I have an additional one, but a hydration bladder. Basically, it's like a camelback. You put the hydration bladder inside, and you can feed the tube out of your pack so it's hanging down onto your shoulder straps so you can have access to your water that you're carrying. Now remember, any bit of water, ammunition, food, things like that you're carrying is going to add a hell of a lot of weight to your pack overall. All right, so again, this kind of goes to redundancy, but in this little side compartment, which is detachable MOLLE, I have a knife, and this is just a cheap little, basically like, who cares if it breaks, throw down knife. As long as it works once or twice, it's partially serrated, it's inexpensive. So redundancy aside from the big K-bar knife on the belt. And then I have the thermal blanket. They call them the astronaut blanket or survival blanket. Have one of those, and I have it on a side pouch just so they're readily available in case I need to cut cord, get out of an entanglement, or need a quick shelter and don't have time to get into the main part of the bag.
A few minutes later.
Okay, second elephant in the room. Why the hell are you doing all this? Well, I have a surviving parent. I have a daughter. I have a wife. I have a stepson. I have an ex-spouse, an ex-stepdaughter. I have friends. I've got extended family. I have myself that I have to look out for. I put myself in a position where I can try to take care of not just myself, but everybody else and supply whatever they need. The state of the world not just now, but in the past, but particularly now, you have to be prepared. So that's why I do it. That's why I have this stuff. I've invested in it over many, many years. So that's my rant for now. So just be prepared. Let's get on with it.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
That's fucked up, man.
So, full disclosure, I have no doubt that a lot of this video is going to require multiple takes because it's difficult operating with one hand to do this. But let's get into the first pouch on the pack, and it's in the back. Hey, that rhymes. Anyway, so the first thing on the back, and remember, you have to set this up. You have to set your pack up so if you're with somebody else, you don't have to actually take your pack off to have access to some of the equipment and gear or whatever that you're carrying. So someone with you can just, you leave your pack on, they just go behind you, to the side of you, what have you, and you tell them, hey, check this compartment, check the other compartment, I need stuff, and they can just get it. So in this one, this would be something I either had to have the pack off or had the person I'm with or people I'm with, someone reach in and get it. So in this case, what we got here, this is a water filtration system. This one is a straw, a water filtration straw. This one's a Frontier. It's just a small one and it lasts quite a bit. So this is what I was talking about earlier. You can drink water directly out of a pond or a creek, stream, that type of thing. So that's the first thing in the pouch. The second thing in this particular pouch for quick access is we have some fuel tabs. We have some matches. We have a magnesium fire starter. So it has both magnesium and a striker and a couple packs of matches. So this is a little fire starting component of the bag. And again, protected from the elements in a Ziploc bag and also in the pouch. What else do we have here? We have a sewing kit. Remember, these things are cheap and they're very effective out in the field. So, you get a rip in your clothes, something like that. You need to get it sewn shut for protection from the elements. Or you get a cut that needs to be sutured, that needs to be sewn, but you don't have a suture kit. Well, now you've got a needle and a pin. You just sterilize them using basically open flame, and you have the thread, and you can suture your own wound. So always handy to have. What else do we have in this pouch? We have, oh, this is pretty cool. It's the emergency survival fishing kit. And I actually used one of these during training and it was actually successful. So this is basically like a little a mint tin, but this is a commercial version of a survival fishing kit. It has hooks, fishing string, it has weights, it has lures, it has all kinds of things in it. It's basically good for, creeks, streams, things like that, mostly smaller fish, but it works. I've actually tested this out during survival training out in the wild, and it works. All right, so the last two things in this rear exterior pouch, I'm going to pull out, again, going back to the fire starting thing, and this actually doesn't need any real weather protection. This is called a blast match. It's another fire starting tool. It's a fire starting system. I'm not going to pull it out of the box, but basically what it is, it's a system where you just basically, it's a handle with a built-in fire rod, and you just push it down on whatever you're trying to ignite. Creates friction, creates a spark, and creates fire ultimately. And honestly, I don't even know why I keep it in the original box, other than I like to have this for tinder if I need it. The cardboard box, I mean, to have it for tinder in case I need it. So a blast match goes along with the rest of the fire starting pack. And the last thing in this pouch, and it's kind of convenient. If I can get it out of here. So this is a multi-utensil kit, and it's as you can hear, it's made of metal, but it's also a multi-tool. So as you can see, you can use it for various bottle opener, knife, spoon, fork. You can use it for other tools. You can see all the cutouts. So can opener, bottle opener, knife, spork, and you can see the other tools that are available on there. I just don't want to say you can loosen and tighten nuts on the video, but you can do that with this. All right, so going into the second up pouch on the rear, and again, these are items that either you can take out of your pack if you take it off, or somebody that's with you can take it out of your pack without you taking your pack off. So the first thing we have is it's basically a canteen cup. So this is a little foldable handle. You can see it's shaped like the bottom of a canteen. You can actually cook with this. You can boil water, you can cook food, heat food up, you can do all kinds of stuff. Basically, you can put it over open flame, but basically it'll fit a canteen. A standard U.S. military canteen will fit inside of it, so you can combine them. I have chosen not to do that for my own reasons, but this is actually a cooking / heatable container that you can carry. It's very lightweight. It's basically aluminum. So that's the first thing in that bag, in that pack. The second thing, which is very important, you need to have in any one of these bags, is a hygiene kit. So you can see in this one, I've got everything from, soap to Q-tips to shaving cream. You got tissues, you got toothpaste, deodorant, toothbrush, everything in here. And it's sealed from the elements in a large Ziploc bag. You need something like this. You have to take care of yourself. You can't just go around thinking you're going to scrub your teeth with charcoal or something like that to keep them clean. And, so a hygiene kit is extremely important to have, or at least some of the items. So up next, and I think if this is what it is, and it is, this is a basic first aid and trauma kit. And this contains, again, we're going back to training and preparation and things like that. So there's scissors in there. There's latex gloves. There's actually a snake bite kit, and I'll be honest, this snake bite kit is pretty useless, but at least there's tools in it like a razor blade and some other things that can be used. The case itself can be used for suction purposes. You got some ace bandage, you got some 4x4s, you got all kinds of things in here, a mask. So if you face COVID out in the wild, at least you'll have a 3M mask. But no, the reason why that mask is in here is for forest fires, wildland fires, so you can actually have some type of protection for breathing during an incident like that. But this is a very basic first aid / very basic trauma kit because I carry real trauma kits besides that. So that's just an initial kit to use. So the next thing coming out is going to be controversial for many different reasons, but in this day and age, actually, I've always had one of these within reach. This is a gas mask. And in this case, this is a surplus finish military gas mask with a new filter, still in its original bag, still sealed. You can have your own opinions on it, but it's always good to have a gas mask. You'll find out if it works in the end, but at least you have some type of piece of equipment that's very cheap, very lightweight, and it'll work or it won't. You'll find out. All right, so there's two more items in here. The first one is a bandana. Go buy these at Walmart. Go to your local military surplus store. Go to eBay, Amazon. I don't care. These things are dirt cheap. Multi-use. Use them for personal hygiene, like as a towel or rag. Use them for first aid purposes. Use them to carry things. You can do all kinds of stuff. They're cheap as hell and readily available, so I would keep one or two in your pack. They weigh nothing and they're cheap, like I said. Finally, in this pack, in this pocket in the pack, 100-foot of mil-spec paracord. So 100 feet, I said foot, 100 feet of mil-spec paracord. So used for all kinds of purposes. I think I've discussed this before. Building a shelter, creating fishing line, first aid purposes, what do you have to do? This is 100 feet. So, but 550 paracord, you got to have it with you. So there's 100 feet of it that I keep in this long-term survival bag. All right, so on to the main compartment. This holds a lot of viable, important gear as well, but the bulk of it. And in this case, we'll start off right at the top. There's some more cooking gear. Now, I'm not going to try to take it apart with one hand, but this is a multi-piece cookware set, basically like a camping set. You can put it over open flame, whatever you have, and cook food, boil water, things like that. So that's right on top. So the second thing that's at the top of the main compartment is inclement / cold weather gear. So you have your hat, you have a military boonie hat, which is good for protecting your head. You have a pair of lightweight work gloves. You have a pair of cold weather gloves. These are actually military glove liners, but you can use them by themselves, and a knit hat. So to protect yourself from the elements, you want to be able to rapidly access your inclement weather gear, and this is the small package I've put together towards the top of the pack. So I already pulled it out, but this is basically a heavyweight and wind-breaking type of sweatshirt. It's combined materials, but this is good for cold weather and inclement weather. So I have that in there, and that stays in there year-round. And remember, you should be cycling out your whatever clothing that you have in your survival bag out with the season, but also have something that will work for multiple seasons. And that goes back to this inclement weather little package I put together and this little thing here. So remember that. So I'll be honest, I just told you hypocritically to change out your pack seasonally, but if you're smart, you'll pack it for multiple environments, cold weather, hot weather, things like that, which is what I do. So I have a pair of long pants. I've got multiple t-shirts. I have thermals. So I've got long johns, thermals for cold weather, short sleeve shirts for hot weather. I have, I already showed you underwear. Underwear is important. And if you wear just general boxer shorts or pack them for readiness, if you have to go in the water, leeches can get up in you, up on your junk, things like that, soak in ticks, things like that. So I would highly recommend, if you prefer boxer shorts, that you wear something with an elastic band around the leg. There's another version. Socks, very important. Always have one or two extra pairs of socks, and in my case, I do have more than one pair of extra socks. So clothing wise, yeah, you have to be prepared for all kinds of elements, seasons, things like that. Another important thing is you need a belt. So, and in this case, this is it's basically a rated emergency climbing belt. So it goes around your waist, obviously, and there's an attachment point for a carabiner. It is weight rated, but if you need to, in a last-ditch effort or an emergency, you can clip onto just a piece of rope or use a piece of rope attached to a carabiner and climb down from an elevation. If you're stuck somewhere or need to get down in emergency, you have this tool, this belt to use. So at the bottom of the main compartment is this poncho, and this is a military issue, U.S. military issue poncho. And no, it does not have the whoopee liner. It's just a poncho. This serves multi-purposes. It keeps you, your pack, your equipment, your gear, your clothing, everything dry, but it also serves as a shelter. You can build a single shelter for one person with it using your paracord and some fastening points. Use it to gather water, all kinds of things. But this sits right at the bottom, and a very multi-use piece of gear. All right, so that's just a quick overview of my long-term survival bag, Bugout Go bag, whatever you want to call it. Just what I have in it. But remember, this bag does not travel alone. It goes with my EDC gear, my everyday carry gear, my everyday carry hiking / survival pack, along with everything I carry in my pockets. And I can add to it as long as I have time to move out, if I have to, which should always be your last resort, to leave a location where you have all your supplies readily handy. This is just something to have for a long-term situation, scenario, emergency, in addition to whatever else you have in your pockets or another pack ready to go. And we're not going to get into weapons and ammunition and things like that. That you can do that on your own. But that's it. That's mine. So I hope you found the information a little bit valuable. But this is what I've chosen over a long period of time to carry, use, and it's what it is. So comments are welcome in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would eliminate from this or add to it. I've done both over many years. This is what I've just chosen to be the final product, at least for now. So thanks for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Catch you on the next one.